We're going to be dealing with the septic system, and Tom is our local expert on septic systems. So a lot of homeowners ask, how often should I pump my septic? And the answer varies, I assume, doesn't it?
Very much varies with the kind of family that's moving into the home, your expected use of the home. Septic systems really enjoy constant use, meaning that homes that are purchased as second homes that are sitting empty often need to get pumped as much as a home that is used by 4 or 5 kids running the washer nonstop. Septic systems like slow consistency, and if you do either of the other 2 items, which is not a lot of use or excessive use, you need to pump it and have it serviced more. So what does that mean? Every 2 to 4 years, you want to have us out to take a look at your system, kind of see how your family's using it to really avoid any big future problems. These systems can cost up to $45,000. They're not cheap. They're an asset that your customers, when they purchase a home, it's an asset that they're purchasing with this home. They work very, very well, but they do need to be maintained. And if they are maintained, their lifespan can be 50, 60 years. Maintenance is the #1 preventative thing that you can do. These systems left alone are going to fail at some point in time. By doing a core sample, we send a core down and can tell where your sewage level is at, and if it does need to get pumped or not. Routt County says if it's over 25% full, it needs to be pumped and cleaned. And we stick with that as far as when it needs to be pumped. My system to get to 25% full of hard material, it all depends. So usually when you purchase a piece of property, it's inspected, it's pumped at that time of purchasing. And so at least, hey, we're starting on ground 1. You have me as the certified inspector, give you a full report on how it's looking. You guys are looking good for this. There's no repairs need to be made. And then you're on a 2 to 4 year gauge of where we want to go. For pumping in Routt County right now is anywhere from $400 to $575. The #1 thing with inspections, and especially if you need them for your mortgage or you want a certified inspection, is that inspections can only be done before it is pumped and then after it's pumped. I have to get in the tank when it's empty. The reason that is you'll never know if you have chafing or if your concrete tank's falling apart on your floor unless you can see your floor. So a certified inspection this year is around $450 to $500 for the inspection. That includes videotape from the home through the main line and videotape of the entire tank with a whole complement of photographs. And that is a certified inspection. Then additional to that, we have to pump it. And so that's $450 to $500. So you're looking at a $1,000 project if you're wanting a certified inspection for home purchase.
Homeowners ask me, it's about what do I have to do differently living on a septic system regarding waste down the disposal, waste in the toilets.
Right, and so when living on a septic system, there's some basic things that you can't or should avoid. Garbage disposal is a main one. Any foodstuffs, the septic tank doesn't like to process the foodstuffs. Does that mean you can't use your garbage disposal? No, use it only in an emergency. If you use it constantly, what's going to happen inside your tank is that you're going to need to maintain your tank more. I'm going to show up at 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, and you're going to be way full because that food stuff counteracts with the bacteria that's working in that tank. The other thing is what goes down into your private system, toilet paper, human waste, water. That's what we want down there. A ton of bleach can also affect the bacteria in your system. And people say, does that mean I can't ever use bleach? No, we just don't want to put bleach pods in our toilet. We don't want to, do bleach, but maybe once a week in a load of laundry. Bleach can also mess with it.
2-ply or 1-ply?
Oh, they want their Cottonelle, and I tell people this, you do not have to use gas station toilet paper.
Okay.
You please do not use Cottonelle, the fine, unbelievably big, fluffiest stuff you can. What that's going to do, am I going to be able to get that stuff out? Absolutely, with this powerful truck. But the problem is that causes clogs, and those clogs you just don't want to have in the wintertime. Don't overpower it with bleach, and only put the right things in it. And that's going to make sure your system lasts for as long as you own this home.
What are the top 3 mistakes that homeowners do with septic systems?
The #1 mistake that homeowners do is that they buy a house, they don't want to look at their concrete manhole covers, and they bury them. They need to be brought to grade, that's what code is, and you don't want to bury them because if you can't get to them 12 months out of the year, if I can't get to them to try to see what's going on in there, then once again, we can't figure out your problem. #2 mistake is damaging your leach field. Leach fields are where the water goes out and leaches into the ground, and leach fields, tractors, horses, keep everything off your leach field.
How deep are these pipes?
These pipes can be 24 inches to 36 inches deep.
Okay.
They're not super deep.
Okay.
They're not 4 feet in the ground. And so what you want to avoid is those being cracked or damaged. And so our third problem that homeowners have is that they don't want to look at it, they don't want to see it, they're scared of it, it's waste, it's disgusting. That's true, that's why you contact someone like myself and we take care of your problem for you. But maintenance, lack of maintenance, or someone saying, out of sight, out of mind,
okay,
it's going to come back and haunt you. And that's the third biggest problem, is that people forget about it.
So rephrasing, the top 3 mistakes are making sure your septic tanks are accessible. Second one is don't drive over your leach field. Your third mistake is just don't ignore it. Maintain your septic system. It'll save you money in the long run.
It'll save you money and it will last. They're wonderful systems that will last and last and last if you just give it a little bit of attention.
All right, I'm going to first question I can't miss. Our $1 million questions. Already 9:42. In that case, I can't spend the time with the $1 million questions. Whenever we don't own the videos only, I go there and talk about it. Guys, every single one I can see 98 members joined today. 98 members joined today. That's mean out of our 600 agents, 98 agents are here. If all these 98 agents, you had to make it over 100 guys, no matter what. Saturday morning, you can do so many things. You are here right now to listening. Ask me any questions you want. If you have more questions, I can't even have enough time to come back on Wednesday morning. We are here, me and Kanna is here to help you guys on Wednesday morning. Bring enough questions and ask questions. I prefer you guys ask questions in the Zoom. In that case, just one questions go to 100 people's mind. 1 hour of my time is go to 100 hours, 100 manpower hours. We can learn. Again, my $1 million question. Already we reach 100 participants. My $1 million question. Am I happy what I am doing right now? Am I happy my money I have right now? What is my goal? This is no matter. Nobody can ask you except yourself. Except yourself, you can ask. Okay. Again, I'm telling you, you may have a smartphone and so much technologies you have, but still, all system. Write it down the yellow note. Write it down the yellow note and put it in the sticker in your washroom mirror. Every day you brush, that's supposed to tell you what you had to do, what you didn't do it, okay? Nobody, adults doesn't like somebody come and advise. Nobody like advice. Even the babies doesn't advise. They want to do whatever they like to do, okay? Guys, okay, I'll make it short and go to the question. Please ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? Allocate 5 minutes every week, or 10 minutes every week. Off the phone, don't sit in front of your family. Go there and park the car somewhere in the park. Think, am I right what I am doing it? Am I satisfied my life? If not, what they had to change? Nobody going to change for you. Nobody going to change. Your office is not going to change for your income. Your partner's not going to help you out. You, 100% is you. You have to bring it up. Think, ask yourself, am I happy what I am doing it? If not, guys, please spend some time and look around different things. Look around different things what you can do to come up to the target level. Again, as I started, I said, already 5 months is ending. What are the money you made? Divide by 5. What are the money you made? Divide by 5, multiply by 12, and see how much the end of the year you're going to have. Okay, that's the way to go. Real estate is good right now. The best industry we are, best country we are living, best industry we are. Make it money now. Don't leave anybody for tomorrow. Tomorrow, no one knows. Tomorrow, anything can happen. Nobody expected for the pandemic and all this will happen. It's the best time. You know what? I was talking to one of the guys. He says it's a good level. CEO level is one big company. They are getting the information saying that when this is open after the pandemic, people all are in the house. They have enough money. They don't even spend the money for the barber. They're going to spend lots of money for the economy. They are expecting government officials. It's a government official side I'm talking about. They're expecting. They need more inventories. They need everything more because people's going to shop around really heavy, even regular clothing to vacation and the hotels and everything, guys. They're going to spend more money. That's the government expectation. Government expecting whatever the money they spend, whatever the money they give, they want the public come and spend outside. The spending money is someone going to boost the economy. Then they're going to spend more money, including the housing. Housing already, everybody's eyes in the housing, guys. Train yourself, sharpen yourself, answer all the question, any areas. You target your income level, definitely double the income than last year. Okay. Or the question I have right now, from Mahesh, just bear with me a minute, guys. Okay, our agent Mahesh, thanks for your question. Mahesh sent me the question saying that one. Good morning, Salvana. The Zoom meeting question. My first question: when we purchase a freestanding small building, freestanding, the word he's using, freestanding, that's mean he's buying the commercial, freestanding commercial building. Do we have to environmental check? How does this works? Why this is important? This is one of the amazing questions to start up with this meeting today. We all deal with condominium, condos, residential, and the commercial and industrial, vacant land, and those kind of things. Yes, guys. Environmental is one of the issues. Mahesh, your question is a commercial side question. When you buy any commercial product, what do you have to do? You have to apply for the mortgage. When you apply for the mortgage, the banks are looking at it. Residential is residential, because under the land usage, under the in Ontario, keep it Ontario is better, under the control by the zoning department. The zoning department is telling you what to do. For example, if you're buying the condominium, what is your zoning department saying? You park the car and go there and sleep in the condo and cook. Then how many people is going to live there also sometimes is limited because of the space, and you can't do the farming in the condo. Some people maybe have some marijuana, one pot, that's also we have to get the permission, but controlling by the zoning department. You buying the residential residential house, single family residential house, live there, rent there, sell it and go. That's a law. You are not allowed to do anything else. You are not allowed to have a coins laundry. You are not allowed to have any businesses in the premises. But when it's come to commercial, the variety of business we are doing it. Either we can do the body shop, or say for example, take an industrial unit. You can do the body shop. You can have a garage. You can have the coins laundry things. So many wastage might come. In the freestanding commercials, multiple activities you can do. In that case, environmental issue is there. But when it comes to exception, when it comes to the commercial under the condominium units, for example, you look at the condominium units, say Markham Steels area, there are so many condominium units are there. So many commercial units are there. One person having the restaurant, other person having a jewelry store, other person having some other clothing business. We are buying and selling, they don't ask the environmental because it's a common elements condo. Other than the common elements condo, my question is freestanding. Freestanding is a separate building. Okay, that can be anything can happen for the last 50 years. In that case, if somebody buying the freestanding building, the mortgage purpose, the bank, before they lend the money, they want to know what kind of activities happen that area. Based on that one only, bank lend the money. For example, if you have a residential house, bank sending the prices and seeing where is the kitchen. There is no kitchen in the house. They said, okay, there is no livable house. Based on the living condition only, we are running the mortgage. In that case, if somebody remove the kitchen, there is no loan for the residential houses. You understand what I mean? Same thing, the commercial, they want to look at the environmental side. When you come to the commercial loans, they will look at few things. Now, whether the property is leased or vacant. If the property is leased, they look for how many percentage return of investment the property is getting it based on giving out the loan. Today's standard is going on 6% by the banks, but mostly the sales are coming up to 4.5 to 5%. That's a different story. But environmental is one of the issues because the soil contamination is anything is there, that particular property is a freestanding property. In that case, before they lending the loan, they have to look at the environmental test. Environmental, when it's come to environmental, either this can be the commercial, industrial, or even sometime farmland, the vacant farmland. Also, they may ask certain environmental site. For example, farmland. Farmland is never been used as anything else, only the farm. But still, artificial fertilizers and everything. Maybe the drainage go to a different slope. The end of the area may contaminated soil, may contamination. Those kind of issues sometimes we face. Even some cases I seen for the main road properties. For example, Totten Road, you are going there, and main road property you buying it. Sometimes they will go for a phase 1 environmental, where maybe the main roads, maybe 25 years ago, one tractor trailer made an accident and all the oil split. Or the houses facing in the highways, they will go for a phase 1 environmental report and check it out, what has happened in that area, those kind of things. Okay, what is that environmental means? Environmental site assessment, we call environmental report, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. I'll tell you what exactly. Mahesh, your question is direct question, answering direct question rather than going the different direction. Direct question, just most of the time, not most of the time, 100% of the chances, if your buyer going to get the mortgage from the bank, other than the private lenders, bank, they will ask for the environmental. When this comes to the environmental report, that's called environmental site assessment, ESA reports, environmental site assessment. There are three reports there, three stages. First stage is a phase 1 environmental site assessment report. The phase 1 environmental site assessment report is almost like when you apply for the mortgage, you pull a credit report. That's your personal credit. Since we born in Canada, after 18 years, we apply for the first credit card from the school, or else you came to Canada, you apply for the first credit card. And what is your history of your credit? Same thing like a credit history for a personal. This for the particular property, particular specific address, they're going to have a report. That's a report called environmental site assessment. That report, in order to get that report, is cost around 1,500. I'm roughly telling you because this is going to be based on the square meter of the land and everything. And I'm going as your question, Mahesh, going as a regular piece of land with the property. I know what exactly property you're talking about. It's a regular property site. We are talking about around $1,500 is cost you roughly for the environmental phase 1. The phase 1 is only a report. There is no physical test, soil test, underwater test, or anything. Nothing will happen. Only physically pulling the report saying that one history of that particular plot of land or plot of the property. If the phase 1 shows, other than that particular property, adjoining the property, beside the property used to be a gas station, used to be a plaza, used to be a small 8-plex residential property, and the oil tank, oil heating system, and the tank buried in the ground, something like that. If they find out that area, they will say we have to do for the phase 2 environmental. Phase 1 environmental ESA report, site assessment report, is only a report, no physical person going there, so pulling the report in the system like our credit report. Phase 2 means physically the engineers go there, or trained technician go there, and they're going to take 2 samples, one soil sample and underwater mineral sample. They're going to take those samples, how many holes they're going to dig, how many areas they're going to dig based on the previous usage. If it is a gas station, definitely they go closer to the gas tank and get the mineral water and the soil, and see whether the gas, the old gas, old steel, any gas tank leakage and the oil split into the soil, or those kind of things. But the regular places, they go how many meters they want to go. They have a standard, and they will take the soil from the different level and the pH level of the soil as well as the pH level of the water. This is called phase 2. In case phase 2 fails, regular commercial building was having the retail stores, you don't have to worry too much about it. And the previous usage is Coins Laundry. Coins Laundry, nobody Nobody expecting as a coin laundry an issue, just coin laundry an issue. Coin laundry, every time they run the water, too much contamination we can see for the coin laundry. Even body shops and garages, as we know that part already. Okay, if any problems come to that particular area, then what they will do, phase 3 means they remove the soil and put back. Okay, answering your question, Mahesh, for the freestanding building, just the banks, most of the chances they will ask you for the, 100% chances if you go to the banks or credit unions or bill lenders for the mortgages, they will ask for the environmental report. It takes environmental phase 1, you can get it earliest around 20 days time. And if the phase 1 fail and you go to phase 2 level, it takes minimum 60 days to get the environmental report. Okay. Second question, Mahesh send me the second question. When purchase a commercial building, how about HST? As we know, residential properties, there is no HST. And residential resale, the resale, there is no HST. But other than the residential resales also come to HST, the previous usage. Anyway, we'll assume residential HST, residential properties, there's no HST. Anything else we are buying out, there's a HST is involved. HST part is involved. Since you guys know that since 2010, July 1st, brand new houses coming under the GST portion, that's been HST, used to be PST only. After that HST came and the price went up 13%, and we know the stories. But answer is question, straightforward answer. Just if you are buying the commercial property, there's an HST part is involved. Okay, the next question he didn't ask. I volunteer telling you guys, because we are sales industry people, we are not lawyers to scaring people, and we want to make it happen. If somebody buying $2 million property, if he say $260,000 HST, what will happen? He run away. Maybe he may have only $260,000 and he may think I'm a richest person in Canada and buying the 2 million commercial. In this case, what we have to advise the clients, there are so many ways there, so many waivers there, and they had to, I can't tell you in the Zoom meeting, that's public. Okay, they had to go to the accountants and they had to know how to pay the less HST or not to pay the HST. That's nothing is this Zoom meeting. Okay, tell your clients to go to the accountant, not the lawyers. Lawyers will say you had to pay. Your lawyers are doing the lawyer's job. Tell your clients to ask the right person for the advice. Go to the CP accountant and ask for the ask how to file. You have to file the HST, but you don't need to pay the HST. That's what my answer. Short answer, but how? That's accountant will tell you. Then in that case, commercial guys, please don't stay away from commercial for the HST side. There are ways. Tell the clients to talk to the accountant, or else you are an agent. Pay some money to go to the accountants, consult with the accountants, and how you can do it. That's knowledge going to give you another 10 million deals. Okay. Okay. I finished Mahesh's questions, and Raj sent me the question about the. Cottages. That's a nice question, Raj. Raj question I'm going to touch base a little bit later because his question is directly for the. Okay, I can tell you the questions first before I go. Give me a moment, guys. I had to find the.
Thank you, Selvan. Answer my question.
Anytime, Mahesh, I want the questions come here and we have to discuss the questions. Then only it's good for everybody to understand. Guys, bear with me. I'm finding some time to get the question because we have WhatsApp and regular messages and few things. That's the reason okay. Raj questions. Raj, thank you so much. You saw the message from Kannan message what we are going to teach today. After that one, you send this question in advance for me, even yesterday. That's very good. I have the answers for you, but his question is a really good question for the waterfront properties, not the waterfront properties, cottage properties, not in the waterfront, but deed access to go to the water. That means the cottage not directly facing the water, but at the same time there are cottages. You can see even Markham Beach area, Outer Lake area. If you drive around, there are roads to there. The properties are one side, left side is the property, right side you can walk in and go to the water. That means there are waterfront, but not directly facing the water. Those kind of question. he asked me deed border access. I'll come back, Raj. I'm not telling right now because after I explain about the cottages and the show allowance, setbacks, and those kind of things, I will answer this question. In that case, everybody else can understand what exactly the question you ask and what we are discussing. And his questions are, you guys think about it. That's the reason I'm telling you about his questions. His question is deed border access, the easement, the deed border access and easement. He asked the question separately. That means one side deed border access, second side is an easement. There are deed access is better than the easement access. And any opinion about available to convert the farmland into residential zoning? That's a huge big question. Yes, farmland is the next question. Any opinion, any option is available to convert farmland into residential zoning? And basic the basic information agents should know about buying the cottages, because the cottages is today's standard. Everybody going out and selling the cottages because Toronto is already 40 multiple of us in one property. Then they're going out and selling it. Okay, now we're going to talk about other than the residential properties. I said the message we send out: rural recreation, farmland, and the cottages. Anyone have any questions before we start? If you have questions, please come and talk. Raj, your question at the end. 10:45. Around 10:45. I'll tell your questions after finish everything. Anyone?
Selvan, I have one more question.
Definitely go ahead.
When we go to the lease agreement, a commercial lease agreement, commercial unit,
Okay.
is there any separate lease agreement like a residential, the standard residential lease like that, or only the 510?
Okay, I understand, Mano. Your question.
This is Mahesh again.
I understand your voice, and you already asked me the question. I know, but I understand your question. I'll explain to you. Okay. If you don't understand the question, I will repeat the question. If your mind is different than whatever I think, you repeat again. Okay. He asked me, for example, residential, we are signing the lease agreement. After that one, Ontario government have a legal notice saying that one within 30 days, if the tenant requests a lease agreement is signed in the Ontario regulatory forms, we had to fill those one and give it to the clients. Both landlord and tenant fill out those ones. He asking me, do we have anything like that other than the lease form? Whatever we making 510. Am I right, Mahesh? That's the question you're asking me?
Yes, right. It's right.
Okay, Mahesh, there are a lot of things for the commercial. Residential is basic, but the residential is basic all the time. We sign the lease agreement. But at the same time, Ontario government brings some standard forms to protect the tenants. Okay, what we have to understand, every single one of you here, residential tenancy is different than the commercial tenancy. Residential tenancy is governed by, the wording is governed by Landlord and Tenant Act. Landlord and Tenant Act, they are reviewing Ontario government. Act means government is telling us what to do and what we shouldn't do it. Every industry, we have an act. That means Landlord and Tenant side, Landlord and Tenant Act is telling us what we can do, what we cannot do by the act. Whatever is in the lease agreement, either your lease agreement or standard lease agreement, standard Landlord and Tenant Act is the one we are going to follow for the arbitration. So for the tribunals or anything. For example, Landlord and Tenant Act, you are signing, there is no pet. For example, you are signing. Mahesh, I come back to your question more deeply to make everybody understand this one. Landlord and tenant, you are saying there's no pet. After 1 week, the tenants bring the pet. I know one of the tenants bought 2 pets. One dog they bought it, and the one dog is not enough. They bought other dog. That means there are 2 dogs in the house without any signing agreement. The landlord cannot kick them out because the pet's rights. Where does this come from? Not the lease agreement. Come from the landlord and tenant. Especially this year, 2021, Ontario Premier said no rent increase because of the pandemic. No rent increase. There is Ontario, whatever the rent you gave 2020, you continuing same thing to 2021 without any increase. That's from the act. Landlord Tenant Act, they amended and saying that no rent increase this year. Whatever we are talking about the residential tenancy, whatever you write it down is different than the tenancy side. For example, the tenants agreement might say landlord have the right to sell the property. During the sale of the property, tenants supposed to allow. Now it's a pandemic side. Tenant can say no because I am the one living there. People's come with the COVID. You know what I mean? Okay. I say come back to your question. Commercial. Commercial, you ask me, other than the form number 510, there's a regular form, lease form for the commercial lease form. Do you have to write anything? 90% of the chances, 90% of the chances of the landlords sign separate lease agreement. This the form 510, only you are negotiating the price. After you negotiating the price, the landlord, I can say around 90% chances, they have their own lease terms agreement to sign. For example, if you go there and get the big buildings, for example, pick one building, like, okay, I'm immediately come to my mind, my daughter on have a lease in the 1450 of my con is a material law, that lease agreement. When I got the lease, I was filling out that one. How many pages? 130 pages. 130 pages agreement we signed. Why? They have all the regulation they want to put it in. 510 is only negotiating the price. Every landlord, educated landlord, commercial landlord, they have management companies, the property management companies, they have their own lease agreement, own lease terms. Then only they can sue the tenants if any necessary items come. The major difference between the regular residential tenancy as well as the commercial tenancy is a contract law. They had to follow the contract. Go to the courts and you had to argue it's a contract law. Residential tenancy is under the landlord tenant. Our paralegal, Damon paralegal, Rafael is listening. We can ask him one day come out and give a Zoom for everybody to talk about this year again. Residential tenancy versus commercial tenancy. Okay, Selva, I know you are listening today.
You're doing a good job.
Thanks, Selva. We need your help all the time. We need your knowledge and expertise to come and talk about our group of agents for the landlord tenants. You experience whatever you share with me most of the time. When we get a chance to go for the car ride, I will talk to you for the last 6 months anyway.
One good thing I just want to tell you, from Monday, June 1st, I think, from starting Monday, they are trying to expedite all the hearings. So hopefully they are thinking they're going to slot 70 hearings in one hearing block. So hopefully a lot of backlogs will get cleared as we speak. Because as you know, we had a huge backlog that accumulated from last year. So they want to clear it. So it's good news for the landlord. So hopefully we'll get some hearings done fast.
Yes, that's good. That's good, Selva. After 1 year, it's going to happen.
Hopefully, that's what they are saying. They are saying they are going to schedule 70 and they are going to put 2 adjudicators in one and they are going to put 4 mediators in one. So hopefully they want to fast track that.
Thanks, Selva. I'm waiting for the time to thanks to you, Selva. Even the pandemic time, you are helping me for the MLS one-in-one training for the agents and the computer knowledge. You are still doing it within the government limit, number of people's limit, and you are doing the training center every Friday. Thank you very much, Selva. I think it's 108 members are listening. This is a good. I think it's the right time to give my appreciation to you. Thank you so much, Selva.
Appreciate it. Appreciate your services as well.
We need your help more.
No problem. Anytime. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Okay, I'll come back, guys. Mahesh, your question. Form 510 is not enough. Form 510 is only negotiating the price. If the landlord think, the owner of the property, the landlord think that's enough, that's enough. If not, they have rights to go to the lawyers and sign the lease agreement. All right?
Thank you, Selvana.
Any question, guys? Questions are much better than whatever we talk. Anybody have any other questions?
Hi, Selvana. This is Amalan.
Amalan?
I have a question about, I don't know if you can answer, it's about life estate deed.
Okay,
So,
go ahead. If you know
family,
otherwise I can skip it next week. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the family is going through a divorce and basically the wife is allowing the husband to stay in one of the houses and she wants to make sure that he cannot sell or take the house, but she wants to make sure that the daughter gets the house at the end after he passes away. I know we learned it in the real estate book, the life estate deed.
Again, can you repeat again the question, Amalan?
So they're going through a separation, and the wife is allowing the husband to stay in one of the houses, but she wants to make sure that the house goes to the daughter, not he cannot sell or he cannot do anything to the house. And I know we in the books we learned it, life estate deeds, but I don't know how that really works in practical.
Okay, this question, Amalan, I need to discuss with the lawyers. As for my knowledge, and all this experience I'm telling you, okay, going for separation doesn't mean it's enough. They go for a divorce category for the signing the paperwork. Second thing, you can't limit the rights, whatever they're going to do after the property transferred to the husband's name. For example, the property now currently owned the husband only. And if she want to go for the term and using it as a divorce term, she's going for divorce. She's going for divorce, but the divorce agreement she's going to put, okay, she's not taking any part of the house, and she's let the house 100% ownership to the husband. But the ownership is limiting what he can do, what he cannot do. That means ownership is giving the survival rights. Until you live there like a back home style. Yeah. In Tamil, we always put the even the downward also, exact downward also not coming out. Okay. Until you live there, and you cannot do any transfer of the property, but the transfer is going to be under the daughter's name. That's, I don't think it's possible in Canadian law. What she has to do, she has to move the property today to the interest of the person, that the daughter, maybe 5 years old daughter. She has to move the property, okay, until 18 years, we can transfer the 18 or 19. I'm not really sure about the age. I believe it's 19 years. Can I say 18 or 19? The deed, transferring the deed, 19, right? 18? Yeah, until 18 years, you can transfer the deed. But at the same time, they can put in trust, so trust agreement. I'm telling you, Amalan, only based on my knowledge, not answering a life estate question. Okay?
Yeah.
Can transfer to the daughter's name. She can sign the agreement to saying that one until 18 years, the house is going to be under the trust agreement. The husband's name is going to be there. That trust agreement is supposed to be registered in the deed. In that case, he cannot sell anything. But she has to sign the trust agreement saying that one, this house belongs to this particular daughter's name. After she get 18 years, they can negotiate with the father and the daughter what they're going to do. But other than that, the house goes to the daughter's name. I don't think they can give the property. Someone asked me this question, Amalan, not this way, the different way. They want to give the dowry to the daughter for one house, and they said they want to put their name for the 2%, and the daughter cannot sell the property. The answer I got it for the lawyers, no, after the deal is closed, even though the mother have a 2%, if the daughter want to sell it, she can apply to the courts and saying that, but I can't afford the house, I want to sell it. If I want to sell it, either mother has to buy the property from the daughter, or else daughter has to buy the property from the mother, or else has to go to the third party real estate agent to go sell it, and 2% go to the mother and 98% go to the daughter. This is the one I know. Okay, I'll check it out. Please text me the question, Amalan. Then I can take you to some lawyers and find out the right answer. Thank you for the question. And I have other question from the Vidu, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Vidisha, okay. Hello, Silvana. This is Uma. Okay. What kind of error as usually made when purchasing cottage? Okay, I'm going to go through the cottage. What you have to look at, okay, it's a good question. It's a good question. But today we're going to talk about the rural recreation, farmlands, and the cottages, mostly until the time of the cottages. I have the list to give you guys what you have to look at. Rather than making the errors, I can say the word omission. Everything is multiple hours, and we get excited and we buying it until we don't check so many things. We'll talk about that one. Okay, you will get the answer end of the session. Okay. Anyone have any question, or I can start to move on the rural recreation properties? Okay, the regular transaction when we start to do condominium resale and residential resale. The next level of this pandemic, after this pandemic, many of the owners, even though they live in the bigger houses that we are seeing it, bigger houses for the builders, bigger houses, maybe 3,500, 4,000 square foot builders house, they don't want the neighbor beside them. Then the trend came out, many of them, they want to sell it because the house price is good. They want to sell it and get a good price. And internet system is good. And everywhere they can get the high-speed internet these days. In that case, they're moving to the rural recreation house. First level is rural recreation house. Rural recreation houses can be any bigger than 1 acre or can even go to up to 100 acres. Those are coming out under the rural recreation houses. If we are going to buy the rural recreation houses, but you have to look at it. For the few things you have to look at it. If you want to write it down the note. Okay, for example, if you go to any metro area, that's either Canada Metro, Toronto Metro, Hamilton or Metro, any metro areas, we are connected to the municipal system. We go one by one. First, the municipal system. Municipal system, the number one is a water. The water is going to be the municipal water. Municipal water is already hooked up with everywhere. That's mean we never worry about the municipal water. Then we can simply get the municipal water. Most of the rural recreation properties, we don't have municipal water because municipality doesn't want to spend every 10 acres or 5 acres of land. They don't want to spend the money to put the municipal water system. In that case, what is going to be? Water well. Water wells, there are three. The water well is going to be today all the whatever we're going to talk about is we're going to have the water well. Water well, you can please everybody go to the YouTube and learn. We did the videos few times in our Zoom training. Water wells can be 3 different kind of water well. We get the drill well, duck well, and other kind of well too, guys. Okay, and then you can know mostly these days are they putting the drill well. Drill well is a very safer one because no other damages go inside and everything. But there is an advantage. You don't need to worry about the municipal water. If you are buying the rural recreation property with the water well, water is going to be clean water you're going to get. You can check the water quality, and there are so much filtering systems they are available these days, around $2,000 to $3,000 cost for the filtering system. And you can put the filtering system, and you can even drinking water as well as the usage of the water, and everything is possible. There are older houses. If you go there, older houses, where you're going to see the water well? In the basement area, or the older houses, very older houses. After that one, they have mostly going 15 to 20 meters. The difference between the septic tanks and the water well is going to be there. This can be a duck well, the different kind of well. But you can see if you see the duck well, you can see the solid cement. I believe is 30 kilos. The minimum standard to cover it up, and you take it out to go inside. You can see the the kids movies. You can see go there and bigger well inside. You can those one need to be cleaned at least every 10 years. The tube well is much better. Okay. Anyway, if we are going to buy any properties other than the metro area, if we are buying the property anything other than the metro area, number one is water. Number two is a municipal system. How the drainage lines are connected. For example, there are sewage system. There are 2 kind of sewage system. You can see it. One, a municipal sewage system. Second one is drainage sewage. Drainage sewage. They have it because they want to keep the city clean, and the draining time, we don't want to see any floating. That means they are not filtering anything. Let's go to the different system and go to the lake directly. That's the municipal sewage. Drainage sewage. The municipal sewage, we had to have a cleaning system involved because we are flashing the toilet and the kitchen waste and everything going there. Then we had to go through the different sewage system, and they go there and the plant and cleaning up. For example, if you are buying the other than the out of the metro area, if you are buying it, anything you buying it, you're going to have a septic system. That's the reason we put the septic tank system. Septic system are very advanced these days, guys. Very advanced. One of our agent, Vela, is in the meeting. I saw his name. We can ask Vela one day to come out and give us some information about the septic system and the water well. All the expertise are in our group. We are one of the group of agents, guys. All the expertise are here. in our group, we can ask one day Vela to come and give us for the Svetic system, more detail of the Svetic system, and as well as the tube well and the water well. And if you guys buying those ones, any properties you're buying it other than the Toronto, Metro Toronto, even some areas in Markham and 14th, 9th line area, there is only municipal water is there. There's no Svetic system. Sorry, there is no municipal sewage system. Then you had to, there's coming with a Svetic tank. Svetic tank is very normal. And if somebody buying and living the Svetic system, they had to learn how to live there. How many times you can put the washer and dryer, and where is the washer and dryer? The water is going there, whether it's going directly Svetic system or outside. Are you able to put it outside for the certain water go to the ground directly? And what kind of soap you're going to use every day basis when we are living in the Svetic system, because the bacteria lives there. Within how many weeks or how many once in how many months you're going to put the tablets for the good bacteria tablets in the washroom and flash it out. There are a lot of things are there. Some people who live in the country life, they know what to do, because they use special not to kill the bacteria, and how to increase the bacteria without the tablets. Most of the home inspectors might say buy the piece of steak and leave it 3 hours, cut it as a pieces and put it and flash it out. That's a good bacteria you can generate in the Svetic system. There are a lot of things are there. In that case, if somebody buying the property outside Toronto without municipal water and Svetic system, you don't need to stop them. You don't need to stop them. Oh, the Svetic system is scary and smells bad or anything. Nothing happened like that. Even I bought one of the land for myself. The guy didn't clean it for 20 years. I never seen any smell, because he's the farmer guy. He know how to keep the system. I think that's one of the Khanna's second deal, I believe, when you become an agent 15. And the Svetic system is nothing, guys. You don't need to worry about the Svetic cleaning of the Svetic tank. $200 is cost every year. They come and clean and go. As an agent, first, please educate yourself. Watch the videos and get to know. Then only you can tell the clients when they come and buy with the municipal water, tube well, and no municipal water areas. In a way, no municipal water is much better than tube well is much better, guys. The reason, you pay less money. You take your bill and see how much the water, how much the sewer you are paying. You are paying $300 for the water, $300 for the sewer. Why? If you have a tube well, you have your own land, why you want to pay this money? Encourage the people, don't discourage. If there is no municipal water connection or no sanitary sewage in the house, don't discourage them. That's a regular thing to buy. Okay, these are the two concerns I have. People ask me the question about the system, but don't panic. The Svetic system is a regular Svetic system. They have a very good system. They are introducing these days to 20,000 to 40,000, the highest amount. They have it. Only thing, you can't park the car on top of that one. Other than that one, there's a regular grass can be there. Nobody knows want to notice it. They can come and clean and go. Every 1 year is enough. Even some houses, they do only, even 5 members live in the house, they only clean it every 2 years time. There's very little cost. Even especially water, there's no problem for the water. Even when it's come to the tube well, I repeat this many times for you guys, because that's one of the memory I have. This in I think a few years ago. Now the market is up in the Clarington area. Next to when you go to Totten Road, after Harmony is Grandview. After Grandview is the town lines. On the town line road, I saw the property with 2 acres land. That man who owned the property, non-conforming site, he started before 81 ice making factories. Ice melting factory from the water well. He has 2 water well. It's a very good water, mineral water coming out. He making the ice making factory. What is the cost? Free inventory, guys. Free inventory. He's getting the water from the ground, free ground. Is a machine already cook it up. He's making the ice and putting the ice. But he has 2 laborers, 2 students coming in the Saturday and Sundays, and they're coming and taking the weight and putting the bags and seal it and throwing into the freezer. He's selling it for $2.99, $3.99. Opportunities are here. Even the same thing, I seen it here now. Beaverton area. If now everybody buying the house in Beaverton, guys. If you drive to Beaverton, you can see ice. Buy ice here. Buy ice here. Why are they making the ice? From the free water from the ground. But I was talking to the guy and the town line guy, guys, because I'm sharing with you guys. Then he said, Some people are in Toronto, they're getting the municipal water and paying the money for the municipal water is come with the chlorine, and they have the filtering system and take out the chlorine and making the ice and spending 90% of the money for the cleaning up the water. Now we are getting the free water and don't do anything. The water level goes down, pump start again, pump it out. Ice making. This is coming to the freezer yard, big yard, and somebody only putting in the bags 2 kilos, 3 kilos. That's the only one they're doing it. Okay, anyway, the water well, the reason I said, what are the ice you're buying it? Not for the regular ice, it's coming from the regular water, regular municipal water from the groundwater. Okay, guys, if somebody buying from the property other than the municipal metro area, don't discourage them. They save money. Plus, if somebody want to build a house, okay, again, here you go. Development charges is very less, not very less, at least 20% less to build that area because there is no sewer system, no municipal system. Municipality do nothing to do. Even though municipality connect, you had to pay your own money. You had to pay your own money to connect it based on the meters. How many feet, how much money is cost is different. Different if you build your own. If you ask for the municipality to connect with the sewer system, municipal sewer and the water system, that's different story. But development charges is less if they don't connect with the water and the sewer system. Okay, again, the rural recreation property. Rural recreation property, when you buy, what you have to look at the rural recreation property, the first zoning, what kind of zoning is there, what you can do, what you cannot do for that area. Mostly rural recreation property, same zoning, you live there in the house. The house square foot doesn't matter, but you cannot build the second house. That's the requirement. And appraised value, you have to look at it. Appraised value, the way they look at it. As for my knowledge only, guys, the different banks are different. I don't want to give you any concrete answers. It's my knowledge and my thoughts. The first 5 acres land, and the house is considering as a residential category. Anything is more than 5 acres land is going to be under the vacant land category. That's mean when you apply for the mortgage, first 5 acres land and the house appraised value, you can go with 20% or 30% of the down payment side. And anything is more than 5 acres land, you have to look at it for the 50% of the value, 50% loan to value for the land area. But anyway, if you're buying for 1.5 million, 1.2 million going to be first 5 acres land in the house. The rest is going to be very less money. And look at don't underestimate, look at it and gain knowledge in the area if you are starting to sell those kind of properties. And even some people ask me, do I need to pay the HST for the more than 5 acres land? Do I need to pay the HST? Answer is just and no. You can escape, go to the right accountant, and there's called waivers. You can sign the waiver form, and you can do the self-assessment for the land. I'm not going to touch those ones. That's going to mislead somebody because I'm talking to 110 agents. You go to your own accountant and talk about that the waiver and self-assessment for the HSC side. But barely you pay only small portion. And environmental side, even though you buy 5 acres, it's a vacant rural recreation land. I don't think they ask for the environmental report on that side. It depends on the area. Most of the time you don't need an environmental side. Some banks might ask for the phase 1 at least. And the mortgage, when it's come to mortgages, guys, again, this is not a single family resident. It's a rural recreation. And you can buy with 20% down payment. I'm not saying no to that one. You can buy with 20% down payment, but at the same time, if the property is more than 5 acres, you may need some extra down payment to qualify for that one. Talk to the mortgage brokers to get to know those funds. These are the one for the rural recreation properties. The second move from the rural recreation properties, I'm going to move to the farmland. Guys, when it's come to the farmland, and even Raj sent me one question. I can answer your question here, Raj. Now, one question about the farmland. Can I buy the farmland and change the zoning to build a house or develop? For example, person who owned the land, everybody's dream, every single landowner's dream to change the zoning. You can drive other than the Toronto, other than the metro area, guys. If you drive Canada, we can see acres and acres and acres of land are sitting there. In this case, who are buying the land, everybody's dream when the development can come to that area, when the city can allow to build that area to buy the houses. For example, you buying basically you buying 10 acres land. Used to be a farmland, maybe 10 acres. Okay, you have the farmers association seal and everything there. You having a bigger family, you said, okay, I have 5 people, so I want to develop this area, divide as a 5 acres, each acre separately, and we want to build each houses. It's not going to allow. That's been coming under redevelopment. Are the government is ready to give the redevelopment that area? That depends. You can apply. You can ask for the city. You can go to the zoning change application. You can send the zoning change application to do that one. But city have a schedule. City already planned very well what they're going to do that area within 5 years and within 10 years. If some municipalities, they go for the readings. That's called readings every 10 years. Nowadays, the development is going faster. Everybody is building the houses. So many builders are out there. In that case, municipalities are going for every 5 years readings. Especially if you say east of Toronto, either with the Oshawa, Clarendon, wherever you go, they are reading every 5 years. The municipalities is sitting there and talking and what they want to do the land and everything. Every 5 years, if the land come under the green belt area, nothing you can do. Either under a government is the one controlling the green belt. If they move the green belt until the land under the green belt side, the property tax is very low, as well as you cannot even cut anything. You can't do any changes over the green belt area. You can do the farming. You can do the farming and you can keep it green for the land, but you cannot do the development of this area. And it's coming out of the marine area. That's more strict than the green belt area. And Raj, your question, you asked me, can I buy the farmland and apply for the zoning changes and do the rezoning? Answer is always yes and no, but depends on the municipality. Everybody's dream to do the zoning changes. If the zoning change, guys, if you can able to do the zoning changes, of course, look at our Markham and Seals area, big land. So many years was sitting there as a farmland. Now it's become as a commercial development. They didn't allow for the residential development. Toronto wants that area for the commercial development. They are building it now. Amazon, FedEx, Canada Post. There are so many companies that are talking about Sun Life, and so many companies they're building it. But that's not allow for the residential. If it is residential, you can see the price, how much money you could make it for that particular land. Okay, Raj, farmland, if somebody buying it, first tell them, by mistake, our generation mean our group of people, Asian people, they think they buy the farmland as a 5 people together. This came to me already three or four calls within the last 5 years. They bought it and they want to divide. No, farmland, Canada, they want to keep the land bigger. They don't want to divide the land. Land already been divided. Governor Simcoe was there, he divided the land already. They don't want anybody to divide the land anymore, but they want to keep the land bigger. That's the intention for the land side. Just you can apply it, but again, who are buying the farmland, if there is a land is different than the farmland. The land is presently using as farming. If somebody want to buy, they had to continuously do the farming. Otherwise, the government can ask, why you dumping the money for the food? The food coming from the farmers. Who is wanted to be a farmer? Nobody wanted to be a farmer. Everybody wanted to be an astronaut and everybody be a doctor. Nobody wanted to make the farming. In this case, government of Canada, all the government of the countries is the one looking after the farming, not the regular human being. Or else the generation farmers, just they are doing the farming. In this case, buying the farmland is not a funny thing to buy. If you buy the farmland, do the farming. Otherwise, buy some bare land and go with the soccer ball and play around. Okay, that's what I would say if my clients come and ask. The changing the zoning depends of the municipality. But some people said that one. Some people buying the bare land actually. Maybe I can tell you guys because I'm here to make you guys sell more properties anyway. In that case, I can tell you somebody buying the farmland, then putting the solar lights. They are leasing out to the solar companies, and they're coming, and you can see when you drive the highways, you can see some solar lights throughout there from the regular land. If the land is not for farming, it's a bare land, it's not usable land. Canada, most of the places not a farmland, it's not unusable land anyway. If you buy those one, you can lease it out to the solar lights. They can come and install it. You could get some revenue from there. But if you want to keep the land, if you're buying the land for 500,000 and you are keeping for your generation, in that case, why not? You can lease it for 25 years and get some extra money from the bare land from seizing company. Some people do the windmill side, they pay very good money for that one too. Those things are possible. Those things are possible. Can I send me the note for me to inform you guys? Planning Act.
Yeah,
Raphael Silva in the Act, Planning Act, and zoning change of the city side. Okay, yeah, you can visit that. Thank you, Silva. Thank you, Silva. You send me the message. Okay, you can visit the cities and say the zoning changes which area the city wanted to develop. Which area city can easily give the zoning changes. You want to say a few words, Silva?
Yeah, they just changed the thing to the ministerial zoning now. So the minister can override any zoning of the cities or the townships. This has been a controversial issue because the Ford government wants to override every city's ability to zone their own. So they have taken, just like Sri Lanka, Rajapaksa can do anything. Just like that, the Ford government has taken over this zoning so that they can expedite all the developments. So except for green belt, any other zoning, minister has the power to override any zoning restrictions. Just to let you know, they passed it in April.
Okay, that's a good news, Selva. Thank you for sharing it. Okay, then give the donation to the government, guys. That's what Selva said. It's like a Rajavaksha. Go after the minister, then you can change your zoning to sell triple the price. Okay, we come back. Okay, we come back to the moving from the farmland to the cottages, guys. Okay, the cottages selling prices one of the time. Even our office experience I'm sharing. Okay, I'm not looking the book. I'm not looking for the Toronto Real Estate Board statistics. I'm looking my office transaction. Most of the time, if you look for the cottages, we look for $400,000-$500,000. There's one cottages limits there. All this many years in my real estate industry. Now I know even our office, some cottages went over 3 million. 3 million. Our office agent bought it, not telling the name of anybody. Maybe that agent might be in this group too. They bought it themselves for the cottage over 3 million. That means people are ready to invest the money for the cottages. Now it's over 3 million. That means is going very big time. One of the reason, guys, don't underestimate, go out and look around. Again, I'm telling you, the thing is changing. One of the reason, pandemic. Second reason, lifestyle of the peoples. First, when we come as a new immigrants, we want to live in the house. We want the house to live there, either apartment building or else regular bungalow house to live there and raise the kids. Now it's different changes now. Generation having money. We are now the second generation is making good money after graduate. They're getting 100,000 easily. For us we was waiting many years to reach $100,000 income makers. Because we came to Canada new. Now young generation age 25, they are making 250,000 or more. In this case, they are looking for the lifestyle is different. Cottages are going very high end these days, and the cottages prices went up more than any of the areas. They doubled, 200% went up. Some areas 200% went up. In that case, every single one of you, rather than selling the houses in the Toronto, just go out. I know some agents, they are traveling to Outer Lake and the Markham area and different Hamilton, Muskoka. Every day they are traveling those areas, and even 401. Taunton, Tenton, those kind of areas, everybody going there and selling the cottages because the price is there. $2 million property, they can make good money than other places. And the agent asked me what I had to look at it before I buy before common mistake. The questions come from what are the common mistake we make we make when we buy the cottages. Okay, we are going to talk about that one. Again, guys, when you go to the cottages, you can see the different level of cottages. I'm not talking the waterfront right away. I'll go to waterfront and before go to the waterfront, it's a regular cottages, not everything under the water. Okay, regular cottages, when you go and buy, you can see the bigger land and the very small cottages, or else reasonable land and the bigger cottages as a housing size. And that's up to can be many difference, but at the same time, one thing in common, when you go to the cottages, there's not going to be a drill water well and septic system. Drilling the water around $20,000. You can drill $15,000 to $15,000 to. I was estimated 3-4 years ago. They said to $12,000 they can drill the water. Drill waters, and it's not that expensive compared to the prices. 1 million, 2 million prices. You buy $10,000, $15,000 to drill the new well. It's not a big expensive. And the septic tanks also. If you think the one septic tank is not enough, more people live there, they can put additional septic tank another area, and they can convert it into 2 lines. One for the drainage water, one for the sanitary water. They can do it so many different way. They can do it. Okay, where you go to the cottages, okay, the inspection is there, and the first question agents ask, where I find the inspector, special inspectors. Okay, if we are buying the property in the Muskoka, if we are buying the property in the Cowtrell Lake, you can find some inspectors from that area. In that case, if you want to go for inspection, go to the area, that particular area inspectors, and they have more knowledge for the inspection. I'm talking about inspection knowledge, not the title side now. They have more knowledge about the inspection than the regular inspectors from the Toronto inspectors. Let's go there and look in the roof and the regular water pressure system. Okay, you can do that one. And somebody asked me if okay, first we'll go through the common cottages side. When you go for the cottages, okay, for example, if the land is big, looking for the survey. Look for the survey. You never know how many acres is coming up with you guys. The survey is one of the important one. You can simply escape the survey. Survey cannot be replaced by the title insurance if you're buying the cottages. You must have the survey. That's better. If not, you can put as a condition, or else you have to put as a clause. Just spend your own money, $2,000-3,000, and get the survey done before you close the transaction. That's an important part for the survey part. Common mistake. Some agent asked me, I think Disha asked me the common mistake. Just put the number one is the survey side. Second thing, when you buy the cottages, I'll go through the. I put the note for you guys last night. I go through this one, then I don't miss any points and go through. Okay. For example, number one, I put it in my side, insurance. The insurance is important for the cottages. Sometimes insurance comes is very high. A big depends on the condition of the cottage and what are the things you're going to cover. What are items going to cover by the insurance companies? For example, if in old cottages, after anything happened, you go to the insurance company and do all the repairs. They're not going to do it. In this case, the insurance claim, they mostly physically visit and see the insurance. When you go to the insurance, they will look at other things. Wiring, what kind of wiring is there? Do they have electricity in the cottage, or else no electricity? If they have electricity, they will look at the wiring. How many amp is that area, and how many times this damages, and how far from the cottage to the septic system? How far from the cottage to the water well? Whether the underground water well or outside water well, they look at those one for the insurance side. But okay, insurance is one of the side. Insurance is varies for the cottages. That it's not like a houses. Houses you can go $80 to $100. Not much different companies, but the cottages is different for the insurance side. Second thing, access to the cottage. Access to the cottage is very important, guys. When you come to the cottage, is not a regular word. So here are so many different ways you can see the cottages. Some cottages, even you can take the boat and go there. There is no road access. Even though road access they have, there are some cottages, they have a private roads. They have private roads, but you don't need to worry about it. I visited my friend cottage in Midland area. When I visited there 2 years ago, it looks like really. I was thinking for the winter time, nobody can even come. He said this every single day they clean twice. That's the way they are maintaining that area. Depends on the area. Okay, it doesn't mean as a real estate agent you don't scare the clients, but get the knowledge, the access to the cottage. Access to the cottage, you can ask anything to the municipalities. And how they maintain the road access. how they maintain the road access, the private roads or public roads. If it's public roads, what are the season they are. That's been basically saying all season cottages. If all season cottages, 4 seasons you can do it. The same Blue Mountain area, they come with all season cottages. You don't need to worry about the access. But at the same time, we are going there in the certain areas like Manitoulin Island, you're going there to buy the cottage, you have to ask for it. Who's the one on the road? Those kind of things. That's been number 2. Number 1, insurance. Number 2, access to the cottage. Access. Number 3, winterization. How the cottage going to handle the winter area. Some cottages are only summer cottages. Some cottages are all season cottage. Some people live there in the cottage. Nowadays, many people sold the property and go and live the cottage. They feel like they have the fresh air and the freedom. But if somebody going to live there in the cottage, what you have to do? You had to understand the plumbing system, electricity system, installations, windows, what kind of windows they have, what kind of heating system they are using it. Those kind of basic understanding you have to see whether the cottage is usable for 24 all season. That's been how the winterization is going to be there. Number 3 is general maintenance. General maintenance for the cottage. What are the maintenance they have? How big is the land? How the water area? If the waterfront cottages, how far the watermark? Low watermark and high watermark is important. If we are looking for the waterfront cottage, again, number 4 is a general maintenance. Under the general maintenance, write it down. Low watermark, high watermark. How high this area the water went up and how low. Maybe the climate change and everything, the water can go much higher, but we don't know that part. But until now, low watermark and high watermark area and the regular maintenance cost, get those ones. And the water quality is different from different cottages, different areas. Some cottages, water doesn't freeze, guys, but okay, whatever I am saying only based on my knowledge. You can dig in more of these things and come back and say, Selvana, you are right or you are wrong. I like to hear those kind of answers. But the water, we can see it only I have a feeling 6 feet or more. 6 to 8 feet only the water freeze. After that, when water doesn't freeze, it's a natural heat is there in the water. That's the reason all this world is surviving. The water is underground water is never freeze. In this case, the water well, the tube wells are good if they insulate really good for first 6 feet of the ground and inside, water never freeze. We never have any problem water freeze. But at the same time, summertime, if it is a duct well, not the drill well, if it's a duct well, some areas after the development, sometimes the water dry out. The well may dry out from there some areas. But the cottages areas, no, we don't have that issue. But if it is the main road areas, if it's a duct well, we may end up having the water dry out from the well, the very hot summer area, and more water usages. Drill wells are always safe. 30 feet drill well is always safe. Check it out, those kind of things. And the water quality testing is free. Most of the time is free. Some areas they may charge money. I know there's one in with me, it's free. You can get the water sample, they'll give the test tubes, and you can put the water on the test tube and give it to the city. And third day they will give the water quality, how is the water and everything. Check it out that areas. Other one is local amenities is very important, guys. If some couple, older couple going to live there in the cottage for most of the time, local amenities are important. That's been the hospitals, ambulance service, hospital service, and the shopping site, how far they had to drive and do the shopping. Based on that one, the prices might change for the the cottages price might change based on the area development. The prices varies, but only the lower price is not that important. What are the amenities is there is one of the important part. Somebody asked me now, what are the common mistake we do? You don't need to make a mistake if you follow at least certain thing. And the clients who buy, they have to do their homework too, not the agent do all the homework. Number 1, I said insurance. Number 2, access to the cottage. Number 2, winter quality of winterizations. Number 4, general maintenance. General maintenance is the one I tell you to mark if it is a waterfront, low water and high water, and cutting the grass and everything based on the land size. Local amenities, under the local amenities, hospitals, shopping centers, gas station, wood area, and what are the things you need to live there, that particular area. Those are the ones are coming under the local amenities. Hospital and shopping I already covered. Landscape and environmental, yes, you can see the landscape and environmental. That's based on the, that's again is coming up the waterfront cottages. There are some areas in the waterfront always the wind push the dirts. Some areas they take the dirts out, and the water is always clean water. That's you have to look at it. That's one of the common, not a mistake, omission we have. If it's a waterfront, we think always the waterfront. No, some waterfront, the clear water. Some waterfront, more dirts come out based on the direction of the air, wind. Some seasons might change, but at the same time, water is not always the same direction. But some season, the important season where you want, maybe you want a clear water. Based on that one, sometimes the cottage prices changes too. The next one is a septic system. The septic system, you can see how big is the septic tank is. How big, I mean, how many rooms, how many washrooms, and how big is the septic system is. Based on that one, the septic systems can handle that one. If we are, most of them, I know who live in the cottages, they keep the septic system only for the washroom and the kitchen, and the regular bath. They have a different line and leave to the ground level. But if the municipality allow that one, that depends. If the municipality allow for the regular water to go to the ground soil without the septic system, that's the way they're keeping for the longer period of time. And rent control. The rent control is very important, guys. Everybody by the cottage thinking, I can do the Airbnb. I can do the Airbnb for whenever I want it, and whenever I need it, I can go there and block it and live there in 1 week. That's not possible for all the areas. I know one of the salesperson, I was discussing with him in my own office. He owned a cottage in Kautra Lake area, and he said, we want to change the roof. He went and get the permission from 3 different authorities to change the roof. Even the color of the shingles, they was controlling it. That's good. Municipality control, I like it. If municipality control, that's mean everybody under the control. But at the same time, you have to go through certain authorities to get the permission to do those one. Even I know, I'm not 100% sure, some areas you can do Airbnb, but at the same time, you have to change the address to that particular area. If you don't change the address to that particular area, you can do Airbnb. If you have, for example, I just picking one area, I don't want to mislead you guys. I'm picking one area in Stony Creek, for example. That's not the one I want to mention. You are renting the cottage and you have it there. But at the same time, what happening? Before you rent out the Airbnb, you have to get the permission to say that one. You have to get you are living there. Then only the Airbnb can work. 100% you cannot rent out. There are some areas, some restrictions there. That's you can check it out. But okay, as a realtor, your knowledge is more important to get more and more deals, more and more property you can sell. Today meeting, I'm going to expand another 5 minutes more, guys. My time is 9:30 to 11, but because too much information, we are going there. I'm going to go for a waterfront side, waterfront areas, waterfront shorelines, and after that, I want to go through the Raj questions. Okay, for example, when it's come to cottages, everybody's dream to get the waterfront cottages because that's the way we want it. When it's come to the waterfront, we have to understand the size of the land and the water side. Who owned there are few vocabularies you may heard about this one. Shoreline, S-H-O-R-E, shoreline. What is shoreline? I'm going to explain. Road allowances. What is road allowances? Setbacks and the permits. For example, when you are looking for the cottage, if it's a waterfront cottages, the number one, shorelines. What does it mean is, shoreline means one of the time I'm talking about 500 years ago, British system and everything, the transportation based on the water. What is still transportation is cheaper, the cheaper transportation ship. Rather than we sending out certain mail in the courier or the ship, there's some boxes or cargoes, ship is much cheaper than the regular air. But the reason water transportation always cheaper. When the older system, when the transportation side, government want to keep the land based on the water area. That's mean when it's come to the water lines come, 66 feet from the water. For example, you are buying the cottage, for example, guys, 200 lot. 66 feet from the high-end water line. The water line can be watermark, low-end watermark, high-end watermark. Different season, water is different area, okay? From the high-end watermark, how far the water comes, from that mark, 66 feet, who own it? Most of the time, who own it? By the municipality. That's mean municipality have the rights. Those days, they are the horses carrying the transportation from that area. That means still there are areas municipality own that land. Okay. Now later on, municipality said the transportation coming separately, and they can't even travel from that area. In that case, they start to sell that one to the different peoples have the rights to buy it based on the changes happen. And nowadays, when you buy before you buying the waterfront lot, please check it out. The shoreline. Who own the shoreline? You can check that one through the deed. You can talk to the lawyers who have an experience with the waterfront cottages, and they can check it out. If not, if the shorelines doesn't show clearly, and the survey going to show. If not, you have to check with the municipality and check it out. Who is someone owning? What I mean, for example, guys, this is the water from the water area to 66 feet is a shoreline area. That's most of the time under the municipalities. Municipality own that one. You can buy out with the different dollars. I don't want to give any dollar value right now because different municipalities have a different regulations. Most of the time it's come around $20,000-$30,000 in my experience. You have to check it out. Who owned that? Who owned the 66 feet land? If you own it, that's yours. But the water goes up, you lose the land. There's nothing. Municipality not going to do anything. Okay, that's called shoreline. But okay, for example, you have a lot in the middle. Other two people's already own it. That's mean nobody can walk in. But they still the municipality have the rights to come from the water. Because that's the part of the 66 feet land is owned by the municipality. When it's come to the road allowances side, Ontario, I talk about Ontario, they reserve the rights to have every 1,000 acres of land, all four sides, 66 feet as a road allowance. That means if they want to put the road or anything they want to do it, they want to keep the rights. They want to reserve the rights to keep the land, every 1,000 acres land, all four sides, 66 feet. If you are buying the land is over $1,000 of bigger land you buy, just check it out. I'm not going too much about that one because we are as a real estate salesperson, we are doing for the cottages with 40-50 acres, so 5 to 2 acres land and buying the cottages. The water shorelines are very important. Second thing, setbacks and permit, guys. Setbacks and permits also important. For example, if you are buying the cottage, if you are a real estate salesperson, if you are dealing with the cottage, sometimes you can see we go to Thousand Island area or a Midland River area. You guys maybe been the boat cruise in Midland. There's one of the nice boat cruise, 3 hours boat cruise. You can go for the Midland area, 10,000 islands area, or else you can go to Manitoulin Island area. Sometimes you can see the houses come directly to the water. Some older houses come almost directly to the water on one side. In those kind of things, you must check it out. Who own the road allowance? If the road allowance is based on the they're still owning the government, owning the shorelines. You are not in the deed. Your property might be in that particular area. In that case, carefully check those ones. And these are the one basically for the waterfront. I'm going to go through Raj questions. Raj sent me the question yesterday about the water access. Water access is Raj, thank you so much, Raj. You sent me the question. It's a very, very interesting question. Raj is the one sent me this question. The deed water access. He asked me if somebody want can you explain what is deed water access and easement? Okay, deed water access. Deed water access, Raj, is what is the deed water access means. For example, you can see even drive to Markham Beach area. When you drive, you can see one side is a road, one side is a beach. The road is there. Left side, you can see the houses. That means the people who have the houses left side, they don't have the direct access to the water. Waterfront is different. They don't have direct access to the water, but the front, they have water area. You can see the duct. Oh, yeah. People keep the boat and everything. Okay, these kind of properties, the properties that I want to read whatever exactly in the Ontario website. Yesterday I pulled it out. If your property has registered easement over another property, giving you access to the water duct, you have the right to use the designated strip of land on the easement to access the water. You don't own the waterfront. You don't own the waterfront, but the easement of the title allow access to the water. Typically, this involves property not directly to the water and does not mean you own the waterfront, but allows a specific use of the waterfront. Example, swimming, canoeing, launching, swimming, and those kind of things. With deeded waterfront access, you may allow access to the water throughout right of way as a designated path throughout the year. That's mean deeded access again, Raj. The question you asked, deeded access. The cottage is not directly to the water, but at the same time you have the access to go to the water. For example, recently I know one of the lawyer was closing the transaction. I go through this particular deed. The one owner keep the land and they sold it separately for different kids. And when they sold it to the different kids, they gave the access. Anybody can go to the waterfront, walk in that area. That one is that easement can sometime 10 years, 20 years, or lifetime easement. Okay, your question you asked me, the Raj, deeded waterfront. Deeded waterfront, little bit different than the easement. Easement can, as a life easement, or else easement can go only certain years. We can say this only certain years. So if the owners change, the easement can be cancelled. I selling to my all are my kids living there, and the front land. My first son can go there the backyard. In case the land transferred to the unknown peoples, they are losing the access and something like that. Easement is a little bit less, as for my knowledge. Please check it out. The easement having some less access, and we can be changes, but deeded is permanently deeded. Okay, that's what, as for my understanding. Deeded access mean for example, your question, Raj, deeded access. You have the cottage, and we have the access to go to the water. That's permanent. Nobody can change it. It's already there, carrying with the deed. Easement also is the deed. Easement. They can put a condition of the easement side. If the land is transferred to the different purpose or different person, that easement can be cancelled, or else certain years only survive. Something like that. And other question, Raj, you send me is a very good question. Thank you so much for your question, guys. Other question, easement. I already covered easement. Any option available convert the farmland to the residential zoning? I told you that one. Farmland to residential zoning, not directly residential zoning. Farmland under the zoning change, multi-residence, because the land is big, multi-residence zoning. If the farmland can change it to multi-residence, the price go 50 times higher. That's me. Yeah, almost done. Yeah, almost done. I'll cancel it. You can cancel it. Okay. The next question, the information about the cottages. I already covered the cottages, guys. If you guys want anything specifically, you are dealing with the clients at today's standard. You want to have more knowledge, just send me out. Otherwise, I may pick one day power sale, and I pick one day purchase sale, like depending on the condition, and a different one. If you have asked me anything specifically, I can come and give you guys. If you guys send me more questions, I don't even mind to come on the Wednesday mornings, and some people's work on Saturday, and I can have other meetings on Wednesdays. I don't mind to have it, but send me more questions if you have it. Send it to the WhatsApp or my personal site, oral emails, then we can meet. I can give you another few minutes for if anybody have any question. Other than that, we're going to close it down. If anybody have any questions? Tasmin is good. Come back next Saturday. If you have more questions, I don't mind to open up on Wednesday mornings at 9:30 to deal with you guys. And after June 14th, I believe the date is June 14th, we can have both Zoom and in class. We can push it out ourselves more and have more and more trainings. Okay. Thank you so much. That's it for today. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Alana, to cover up.
Thank you.
Thank you.